Hey, DJ, before I get to my introduction, I want you to try to guess what my name in the recording means.
Yeah, so for context, everyone, Gage's name, if you were just pronouncing it by words, like as a word, it would be Yulf, which if you reverse is actually a slur. So don't reverse it, please. Anyways, is YKWTSAGWBF. Okay, so I'm gonna guess what it means, and I'm kind of working from the back front. So I just need another moment. You know what? This stinks. Hey, girl, where's your boyfriend?
That's really
Um,
good. That's wrong, but that's hilarious.
Thank you.
Let's just say it's pertinent to the episode.
Okay, you know what it is. Ravioli, ravioli. Give me the formuoli.
Okay, you have the first two words right. You have the first three words right.
You know what? This sucks. Is that right?
No,
You know what? Teddy sucks.
no,
You know what, Teddy?
it's not Teddy. It's
You know
okay.
what?
T is they.
You know what they say. Hey, girl, where's your boyfriend?
A is about.
You know what they say about girls. We be frippin'.
It's guys with.
You know what they say about guys with boyfriends.
You're so wrong, but it's so close. Big.
You know what they say about guys with big farms.
Exactly. Yeah, it's you know what they say about guys with big feet. Today we're talking about Bigfoot.
That's funny. Are we really?
Yes, we are.
How exciting. I've been really excited for this episode for such a long time. I'm really, really stoked for this one.
So yeah, today we're talking about Bigfoot. This is one of
Yeah.
the OGs when it comes to American cryptids. I would say maybe even the OG in terms of cryptids in general, worldwide. And we'll get into that in a little bit as for why that's the case. But before that, this is everything but the cats.
We need I know we have intro music, but it'd be great if there's a little musical sting every time we said this is everything but the cats. Like that kind of thing.
I can work on that.
We'll think on it.
Yeah, we'll think on it. Yeah, this is everything but the cats. As DJ has made it abundantly clear, the only show. That's right. We're the only show. You don't need anything else.
Are you
What it,
looking for humor?
yeah,
We got it. You looking for a medical drama? Sorry.
we can have it.
Yeah. Did you know that when you break your arm, that's a good thing you're not a horse?
Gosh, that's one of my favorite episodes that is audio only is the horses one. We have so many good episodes that are audio only. I really need to get those on YouTube. Anyways, you need to know why Jingle Bells was written either in the South or the North, and it kind of matters which.
It sure doesn't.
It doesn't.
But don't tell that to the Northerners or the Southerners.
Yep. Yeah, this is everything but the cats. My name's Gage.
I'm DJ. Do you need to, in the amount of time it would take you to watch all three movies, get a plot synopsis of all of the Jordan Peele movies approximately in the same amount of time?
Yes,
We're
I
the
do
place for you.
actually.
Great.
Do you need two guys who have never tried true crime before to go through two minimum serial like two serial killers and then two horrendous murders?
And would you like it to take about the amount of time that it took for those serial killers to get caught?
Have we got something for you?
Yeah, we're the only show.
Yeah, the only show.
Yeah.
We've got everything. But yeah, today this is a series that we've been doing called Creatures Unseen. The original plan was that it would be 13 weeks. I think we're going to cut that just a little bit short, but we will be returning to this periodically as we go because this is something that I have fun doing is researching these cryptids, hauntings, alien encounters, etc., and then telling my friend about them and you guys in the meantime. But this week we are talking about one of the most famous cryptids, as we've already said, and that is Bigfoot. I had a cold open idea for this, but it was much more fun to do the name thing, I think.
That's fair.
But yeah, so Bigfoot. Bigfoot's been spotted all over the nation and sometimes all over the world. He's had different regional names such as Yeti, Yowie, Abominable Snowman, Bigfoot, Skunk Ape. Really, you just kind of like pick an area and they have a cryptid that's a big, hairy, stinky man. Almost always those things go hand in hand.
I called mine Dad.
But this one isn't going to tell you about CrossFit. He's just going to throw sticks and rocks at you.
My dad did not tell me about CrossFit, let me assure you. He just threw sticks and rocks at me. I think my father might have been Bigfoot.
Maybe.
Is Bigfoot does he kind of have like anger issues?
Some people would say yes.
Is he kind of emotionally distant, do you think?
Well, I'll tell you what he's really good at is hiding.
Do you think he's dead?
No.
Okay, my dad's not Bigfoot.
Yeah, so Bigfoot, there's all kinds of different creatures that are in this category all over the world, but we are sticking with the American Bigfoot or Sasquatch today. I think this is one that really does deserve revisit episodes just because of how widespread the sightings are. Like, obviously, we're not going to be able to go over all of the hundreds of sightings today. So, what I really wanted to do is to just talk about some of the earlier known sightings that we have of Bigfoot or Sasquatch, kind of how we got that name, and then just a little bit of the stories around Bigfoot. But before that, before we get into the real Bigfoot stuff, and this is for you audio listeners, I apologize, but I found at a thrift store right when we were starting this series a Bigfoot Research Kit, and we're going to go through that really quick.
I love this.
So, first things first, this Bigfoot Research Kit comes with a magnifying glass.
In case Bigfoot's little.
In case he's a little foot. Also comes with a laminated card that says Bigfoot Research Team Track, Catch, Release. Crazy for your 3 words for Bigfoot. Track him, catch him, and release him.
In case he asks for identification.
And then at the bottom says, I'm a believer. And on the back of this,
in case he asks for your faith.
On the back of this card, it says the Bigfoot Code. This is my favorite part, I think.
I love this. Let's hear it.
Bigfoot respects the earth. Bigfoot never dumbs down. Bigfoot does what's right, not what's popular. Bigfoot helps those in need. Bigfoot understands the introvert's need for alone time. Bigfoot doesn't gossip. Bigfoot only eats healthy foods. Bigfoot doesn't judge people. And Bigfoot is never conceited.
Might I say, I have never been more certain that my father is not Bigfoot than I am right now. Bigfoot helps those in need. That's what all those blurry pictures are. Like he's at a food bank giving out food in those blurry pictures.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. I'm for it.
I do want to say before, in my notes before this, I skipped over it. I said Bigfoot's famous for being large, in charge, hairy, and somehow has the ability to render most cameras useless, dropping them to 40p just by being within range.
I love that.
So here is the Bigfoot sizing chart.
Uh-huh.
It's got a deer footprint, a black bear footprint, a gorilla footprint, a human footprint, which is wild. Because a size 11 human is bigger than a gorilla footprint.
Yeah.
It has an adolescent Bigfoot, an adult female Bigfoot, and an adult male Bigfoot, which is apparently 16 inches is how big. I am pretty sure I know humans who have had size 16 shoes. Actually, I know for a fact I've known people.
To inches?
I thought it was.
It could be.
So yeah, it also has the legend of Bigfoot facts. Bigfoot wander around the forests of the Pacific Northwest looking for food and trying to avoid contact with humans. They are rumored to be over 8 feet tall, weigh over 600 pounds, and would wear a size 21 shoe if they didn't love going barefoot. I was wrong. It's not inches.
I didn't have to Google anything.
While an actual Bigfoot has never been captured or clearly photographed, the illustrations in this box mix hard scientific evidence with informed conjecture to provide what we feel is an entirely accurate representation. How to attract Bigfoot. This is one of my other favorite parts.
Throw on some perfume.
Unlike hunting an animal, attracting a Bigfoot is subtle and requires a certain laid-backness. Bigfoot is repelled by bad vibes, so if you want him to appear, you're going to have to be super mellow. Go to the most remote part of the forest, breathe deeply, and enjoy all the nature around you. bring some munchies, and just sit for a while on a log with your feet up in the air. If you achieve the right level of relaxation, a Bigfoot may appear before too long. Don't move too quickly. Try to take a picture or talk to it, or it will run. Instead, just smile, nod your head, and offer him a handful of your gorp. Eventually, it'll be time to say goodbye to Bigfoot. He will emit a mournful cry, place his furry hand on your shoulder, and then take off into the woods.
Someone's gonna die. Some 6-year-old is gonna read this and go out into the woods with their spicy, smelly food that attracts bears. And then they're gonna see a bear in the distance and be like, "Oh hey, don't take pictures, don't run,
Don't
just be
talk.
chill. Chill vibes, just talk." And then it's gonna come hang out, not eat them miraculously. And they're gonna be like, "Hey, it's time to go." And then it's gonna put its paws on them and let out a cry.
I do
Poor
have to
kid.
say, underneath that description, it says any other interaction with Bigfoot will end with Bigfoot thinking you're a big bummer. Surely you'd rather Bigfoot thought you were cool, right?
Peer pressuring children into dying in the woods.
It also came with the Bigfoot Field Journal, which is just a
Okay.
little pocket journal. Bigfoot flags, like Bigfoot evidence flags.
Okay, in case he asks if you have evidence.
Yeah. Yeah. Little plastic baggies
For his poop.
for his poop. And then stickers. One
For
that
his
says,
poop.
actually, there's a bunch of stickers. But yeah, some of them include Bigfoot scat sample sticker.
I knew it.
So yeah, this is all you need to catch a Bigfoot. So if
Yeah.
that's what you're wanting to do this summer, I know summer's over pretty much, but if that's what you're wanting to do with your life, just follow those instructions. You don't need to know anything else. You don't need to take anything else with you. Just go out in the woods with some munchies.
Yeah. And if you get lost and stranded, no worries. Bigfoot loves to help people in need.
He does. He does.
People never die in the woods because Bigfoot is always watching.
Exactly. There's not an entire like book and documentary series called Missing 411 about the different people who have gone missing in the national forests. That doesn't
That would be
exist.
ridiculous.
Yeah. But anyways, that is the Bigfoot Research Kit.
Yeah.
So find it, I guess, if you want. It's given me a good few laughs, and it was only a couple
Yeah.
bucks at that flea market.
Where was that?
It was in Fort Scott. It was just one of the flea markets in
I
Fort
thought it
Scott.
was.
Yeah.
Love that.
I got it so long ago at this point, but I'm so glad I finally got to do something with it on the podcast. But anyways, Bigfoot, and some of the stuff in there is stuff I'm going to talk about. Bigfoot is normally
Yeah.
described as being between 8 and 12 feet tall, with broad shoulders and ape-like arms, meaning longer than like the legs, for example, just not to the ground quite. Typically described as being covered in shaggy hair, sometimes really dark hair, sometimes reddish hair, and sometimes white hair, depending on, and that's kind of a regional thing, is
Yeah.
how that goes. As the name implies, huge feet. He's rumored to be big, silent, and incredibly strong. Now, one of the things that is interesting about Bigfoot is these aren't stories that are particularly recent. Like they're not new in the terms that you would think with a lot of cryptids. Like a lot of the ones we've talked about are pretty new in origin and stuff like that. The Jersey Devil, for example, has its origins in colonial America, but generally speaking, the Jersey Devil as we know it today is kind of a recent thing, like within the last 120 years. The Mothman was what, in the 60s, I think? 60s or 70s?
Something like that. That
Yeah.
sounds right.
So it might have been 50s. But anyways, it was within the last 100 years. A lot of American cryptids are fairly recent in origin, especially the ones that like people still talk about. Like there are snallygasters, of course, that are also from the colonial period, but nobody really talks about snallygasters nowadays.
So true.
And that sounds like something that would be in the Harry Potter books. Like that just sounds like a Harry Potter creature.
Which then means it kind of sounds like a slur.
Yeah, but anyways, so we have other examples I've already mentioned, like the abominable snowman of the Himalayas. We've got the yetis of other snow-capped mountain ranges. Also, we have the Salish people of the Pacific Northwest refer to a creature called Saskets, which translates to wild man or hairy man. Other tribes, such as the Hupa in Northern California, speak of a creature known as O-Man, which is great.
Oh Oh man.
man, which is
Oh man. Oh man.
a hairy
He's coming
giant.
over here. Oh no. Oh wait. Oh guys, he's totally chill. It's okay.
He just
This
wanted
guy's
some of
chill.
our gorp.
He just wanted some of our gorp.
I've never heard that word before reading this.
Gorp is a mixture of dried fruit and nuts eaten as a snack food by hikers and campers.
Oh,
Semicolon, trail mix.
okay. I'm not gonna start calling it gorp. I don't think.
No, it feels like, yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, that feels weird. But anyways, so that's the O-Man is a hairy giant that lives in the deep forests. The styles, it's STS apostrophe AILES.
Good luck, man.
People of British Columbia also have stories of the Sasquatch, a term that would later become synonymous with Bigfoot. These indigenous stories often depict Bigfoot as a protector of the forest, a creature of great strength and wisdom, and sometimes even as kind of a spiritual being. While these tales were passed down orally and were essentially a part, like a crucial part of Native American culture, they didn't really gain widespread attention in mainstream culture until more recently, like, for example, after 1958. Why 1958, you might say? In
Why
1958,
1958?
good question, DJ. That is the year that we got the name Bigfoot, specifically to refer to this creature.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was like a high school bully name forever.
yeah, so there were some loggers in Northern California who wrote a letter stating that they had found mysteriously large footprints while working. And they were talking about some potential vandalism that had been done during the night. And they sent this letter to the Humboldt Times. And a journalist named Andrew Genzoli wrote a short article about it for the September 21st Sunday of the paper. He thought it would just be kind of a fun story to post in the paper for a Sunday morning read. And he posted it along with the letter. But the story would end up taking off, and people all over were clamoring for more stories about this creature. They were sending in their own stories, and there was just interest in this large creature that was written about here. And so, in a later article, he and one of his co writers would actually coin the moniker by the most defining feature of the creature, the large feet. And that is where Bigfoot was born as this legend.
Oh.
Now, another early, and I don't necessarily know why I ordered it this way, but there was another earlier report actually from 1870, the Titusville Morning Herald in Pennsylvania, which my geography is not good, but I know that Pennsylvania and California are not close to each other.
I mean, they're closer than we are to the moon.
That is true. They're also closer than California is to China.
Yeah.
But anyways, this paper in Titusville, Pennsylvania, wrote an article for the Thursday, November 10th of 1870, discussing what they referred to as the wild men of California. They claimed that they would roam the mountains and that they looked like gorillas. So this is an article from almost 100 years before Bigfoot as a name was coined, just kind of showing that these tales of wild men in the woods have always kind of existed.
Like the idea was already there.
Yeah, the idea was present. And there are stories in a lot of cultures, I would argue most cultures that have existed for longer than a couple hundred years, of giants. Normally the giants are hairy, like really hairy, like sometimes they have dark hair, sometimes they have red hair. It's just all kinds of stories that sound similar to stories of Bigfoot. And I think most cultures have these kinds of stories. And like there's even, gosh, I didn't write this one down. I think this one would be fun for almost a dedicated episode. But there is an account of like a Bigfoot war.
Bigfoot War of 1855 in eastern Oklahoma.
I think that's the one, yeah.
The Bigfoot War of 1855 is a tale from the Leflore County, Oklahoma area involving the Choctaw people and settlers being victimized by unknown entities. After crops and livestock went missing, escalating to the disappearance of children, a Choctaw posse led by Joshua Leflore tracked the culprits, discovering them to be huge, hair-covered creatures identified as Sasquatch. In the ensuing conflict, LaFleur was killed, but 3 Sasquatch were slain, their bodies burned, and the remaining victims' remains buried. While often discussed in the context of cryptid lore and found on podcasts and YouTube, official historical records of the Bigfoot War are scarce, leading to skepticism about its factual basis.
Yeah.
That's just kind of, I kind of came up with that.
That's just from memory, actually.
Yeah, I guessed about the Bigfoot War.
I'm almost certain that Mr. Ballin I think Mr. Ballin has a video about it, or at least one of his videos references it, because I remember hearing somebody who I consider, like, one of the people I listen to, like one of the guys I listen to or subscribe to, talking about it. But anyways, like, we have stories in Native American culture. Different tribes have their own stories, even, of these wild men or these hairy men. And I remember when I was moving to Tennessee, one of the most common stories I heard about, like, Tennessee cryptids, because I was looking it up before I got there, was the Tennessee wild man. And it's essentially the same thing as, like, a Bigfoot. It's just a hairy wild man. Although most of the wild man stories tend to be a bit more aggressive than a lot of Bigfoot stories. Genuinely, a
Yeah.
lot of Bigfoot stories, they're pretty docile. Like, they're
They're good
there.
vibes.
They are good vibes. They might throw some sticks or rocks at you. There are some stories of Bigfoot being aggressive, though, and we're going to talk about one of those here in a few minutes. But that's essentially, there were stories all over the place. He was there in essence, but Bigfoot, like I said, was born in 1958. One of the most famous examples of Bigfoot evidence, quote unquote, is
Yeah.
the Patterson Gimlin film. Now, this is something that you have definitely heard about, DJ, right?
Yeah, I'm picturing it right now, I assume.
I think everybody has seen the Patterson Gimlin film. It's that famous, like, really grainy film that shows a big hairy creature, like, walking in the very specific way and looking over its shoulder as it goes.
Not black and white.
No, it's not black and white. It is
Yeah.
in color.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm picturing the right one.
But it's like kind of Technicolor almost. Yeah. Great. Like, debatably one of the greatest hoaxes of all time. The reason I say debatably, though, is because, so here's the thing. We could do an entire episode just on the Patterson Gimlin film and the story behind how it came to be, how the
Yeah.
people behind it talked about it at the time, how they talked about it in the decades following, and how they talk about it today. Because here's the thing, they don't keep their story straight. Like, they've gone on record saying that it was a hoax, and then afterwards gone back and said, no, we had to say it was a hoax because somebody was getting on us about saying it was a hoax. I don't, like, it's weird. Like, they've retconned their own arguments about it. But essentially, the Patterson Gimlin film, like I say, it's one of the most famous and controversial pieces of evidence of Bigfoot history. It was shot in 1967 by Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin at Bluff Creek, California. Now, Bluff Creek, California is the same area where those loggers mentioned earlier had written their letter from. And so the short film shows a large bipedal ape-like creature walking along a creek bed, glancing back at the camera before disappearing into the forest. It's one of the most analyzed pieces of film in all of cryptozoology, partly because whenever people see cryptids, they never seem to have a working camera on them. It's crazy. Like, in the age of smartphones, you think it'd be different, but it's
Rules
just
are
not.
rules.
Yeah,
Yeah.
rules are rules, man. There are a lot of skeptics who argue that it's simply just a home video of a guy in a suit. And I've even seen an interview before where one of the two guys is like, yeah, this is how I walked in the video. Like, he explained that it was him and he did the walk. But then the
Oof.
same guy years later went back on saying it was a hoax.
Yeah.
I'm getting way more passionate about this than I should.
No. The people need it. Send it, Gage. Come on.
So there have been a lot of it. Go ahead.
I got passionate about whether or not ghosts actually deserve to, like, whether or not their business is unfinished. You can get passionate about Bigfoot.
Here's the thing. I think that there is merit to at least 10% of the Bigfoot sightings. I don't know if it's Bigfoot, but I think there's like merit to, I'd say, at least 10% of the sightings. I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff around this video that makes it's just silly to me. Like, I don't
Yeah,
think the video's real. I think it's a hoax. I think that it's a hoax because the people who made it said it was a hoax, and they went back on it later, I think, to keep themselves relevant in the conversation.
sure.
I'm alleging this. I don't have evidence to back that up, but I do think
Yeah.
that that's a possible explanation. If it's real, awesome. Prove to me it's real. If Bob Gimlin, Roger Patterson, if you want to prove to me that this is real, come on the podcast. Talk to us about it. I don't even know if either of you are still alive. If you aren't, rest in peace. If you are, please tell me it's real. Prove it to me.
This is also an open invitation to Lizzie from that one hotel. You're not. You're
This is
not invited on the
this
show.
is also
Sorry.
an open invitation to any cryptozoologist out there who wants to try
Oh
to come
yeah.
on and prove to us that this is real stuff. Please do. We'd love to talk to you. I like,
Not
and that's
even just
legit.
Bigfoot. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anything.
any of them.
Anything. We would
Like,
love to have you on.
yeah, come
I
tell
feel like
us.
my tone implies that I would make fun of you. I wouldn't. I am fascinated. Not fascinated like Gage. He's weird. But like, I would not judge you. I would love to learn more. So,
Yeah, especially if, like, I do think that, like, it's funny because I'm the cryptid guy, and every episode we've done, I'm like, yeah, I think it's probably fake.
yeah. Life has tempered your expectations.
It has a little bit. I do think there's unexplainable stuff out there. I
Sure.
genuinely do. And I think there are creatures out there that we just haven't discovered yet. And some things, like Mothman, for example, I believe could be spiritual interaction in some way. Could be. But, like,
Yeah, sure.
nothing I believe rests on any of these being real. And so it's one of those things that it's like, as much excitement as I may get out of the stories, and as interesting as the stories genuinely are, like, my worldview doesn't crumble if they're not real. Nothing I care about rests on the reality of cryptids. I know. But anyways, so that's one of the most famous examples. We have others throughout history, and there's one specific one that we're going to talk about, and we're going to go back in time just a little bit more again. So in 1892, Theodore Roosevelt wrote a book called The Wilderness Hunter. And in this book, he includes an account of a possible Bigfoot encounter. Now, in the book, he was describing an interaction that he had had with a man named Bowman. Like, that's the only name that's given. He was a grizzled mountain hunter, and he was a man who had been doing it for a long time. He was of German descent, and he knew what he was doing. He'd seen nearly any animal possible that was in the mountains. And he was telling this story about an experience he had on the frontier. Theodore Roosevelt's own words, he says he must have believed what he said, for he could hardly repress a shudder at certain points in the tale. And this is where the German thing, he was like, but he was of German ancestry, and in childhood had doubtless been saturated with all kinds of ghost and goblin lore.
Great.
What a Theodore Roosevelt thing to say.
Yeah.
But essentially, this says in the mid 1900s. The book was written in the 1890s. So
hmm
that's not true. In the mid 1800s, Bowman and a companion, an unnamed companion, decided to set traps on a trail near the Montana Wisdom River. The remote trail had a bad reputation at the time. There was, for example, another trapper had been found half eaten by mining prospectors along this same path.
Someone's got to put those mining prospectors in jail. Like, that's not acceptable.
The half-eaten remains of another trapper had been found by mining prospectors along the same path.
Curious.
So these same mining prospectors found that some creature had destroyed their campsite the next day.
It's the same guys?
Yeah, the same guys.
Okay. These guys are going around cannibalizing people and destroying their camp.
Destroying their own camp,
Yeah.
shooting at nothing in the middle of the night.
It's called an alibi, Gage.
So essentially, that's one of the stories there. But Bowman and his friend that he was out with trapping, apparently while they were camping one night, he said he woke up in the middle of the night to a foul, wild beast odor. Still delirious from just waking up, he saw what he described as a great body in the distance, lurking in the shadows just out of the light that he could see.
Great
What?
body.
Great body.
Dang.
You
Hey, you
looking
see that
healthy.
over there? Wow.
So he stood up.
Hubba hubba.
Auga. But he got up and shot his rifle at the creature, and then it ran away, making a loud noise as it left. The two men did not sleep for much of the rest of the night.
That's
That
fair.
same night, these two highly experienced trappers decided that the tracks that they inspected were made by a human like footprint, not a bear. They also said that the creature was standing like on two hind legs far too long to have been a bear in their experience. So they gave up eventually on their trapping expedition, finding really little luck. And when they went back to camp on this final night before they were going to head home, they went to bed. Then Bowman went out to retrieve, I guess the person he was with went to bed. He went to go retrieve a couple extra traps. But when he returned, he found his friend's dead body. He said that his neck was snapped and there were 4 fang marks in his neck.
Fang marks or pickaxe?
It was actually the miners.
Dun dun dun.
So, because I said that, it reminded me of that joke from that one Gravity Falls episode where the bouncer, like this, it's supposed to be a bar. Dipper and Mabel are trying to get in to start interviewing people, and it just shows the bouncer, and he says, "No minors allowed," and the camera pans around and shows a miner. He's like, "Dag nabbit." And then Dipper and Mabel give him fake IDs, and they just say, "We're old enough," or something like that, and they're drawn in crayon, and he's like, "Good enough for me."
What a good show.
It's such a good show. If you
Way
haven't
too
watched
long.
Gravity Falls, watch Gravity Falls. Almost all of season 1 is free on YouTube by Disney. So it's not even like it's there illegally or anything. And then it's also, I think, on Hulu and Disney Plus. So highly
Yeah.
recommend.
You'll understand us better.
You will understand us a little bit better. But yeah, so this is the story. Bowman described the creature as either half human or half devil, some great goblin beast, which is an awesome description.
So it's either half human or half devil, but definitely half goblin.
Yeah, definitely.
Like the half that's guaranteed is goblin.
Yeah. Well, I think
Goblin, my friend. Rest in peace, bud.
this reminds me of the fighting style we learned from the Sugandese.
So Hayden, who we've had on the podcast before, used to be in my small group, and he changed my name to, and like back when I was like just kind of a regular member of the small group, he changed my name to Deej Nuts. Quality joke. Really funny. I do like it. It's not the worst thing anyone's ever done with my name. But then, so that's that. Years later, I'm a leader in the small group. We've like expanded and added people. And I happened to like see, I think Angela's phone or something like that. And I see that I, as a leader, have been messaging this group of people that are like strangers as Deej Nuts. And that's the whole story. I changed it.
That that's wonderful.
Yeah. There's Grace.
There is grace. But yeah, so those are some of, I would say, some of the most famous of the early stories of Bigfoot that we have. And even today, there are countless sightings, documentaries, books, organizations, series, festivals, etc., that are out there specifically about Bigfoot or Sasquatch because of the public belief and the public feeling around him. Like I say, sightings persist. Though I was looking at a map of the reported sightings, and in the 2010s, they slowed down not significantly, but it was a good drop off from
Yeah.
the decades before. So, in the age of smartphones, we have stopped seeing Bigfoot so much. It's pretty peculiar.
Curious.
Yeah, it's curious if you ask me. So, why do people believe in the Bigfoot? DJ, why do you think people believe in the Bigfoot? I have 3 reasons.
Number one, they want to believe.
Yeah.
Like, I love the idea that there's something out there. That's thing number one. Thing number two, they saw the film and it was compelling.
Like, they've seen the evidence. There's too much.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Come on. Yeah. They were hiking one day. They saw a big old foot. They're like, where'd that come from? Whose foot is this? Someone's must have been part goblin this animal. Yeah. Okay. So they want to believe. That covers like all the bases. I probably.
yeah, it really does.
Gravity Falls told them so.
See, Bigfoot's not in Gravity Falls, though.
Just the intro music.
Yeah, that's true. Sasquatch is in Gravity Falls.
Did you say, is it Sasquatch?
There is Sasquatch.
Not
It's-
Sasquatch.
It's a Bigfoot wearing briefs.
Love that. It's been too long since I've watched it. Gage, you should tell me the 3 reasons, because I can play games all night,
Yeah, so
but I'm not going to get any closer.
the first reason is the fun of the mystery, which kind of goes along with
Yeah.
what your reason is. Yeah, like
I
it's
want to
just-
believe.
It's fun. We want to believe in
Yeah.
something. The second reason is regional pride. Now, I say this because, like, the Jersey Devil, for example, people in New Jersey, they like the Jersey Devil. It's unofficially
Sure.
seen as the state mascot. People in West Virginia, specifically Point Pleasant, they love the Mothman sometimes. Apparently, occasionally, they want to be done with it, but it's also one of the number one economic boons for them. Bigfoot for the Pacific Northwest. They've got all kinds of festivals. They have like specific hotels dedicated to Bigfoot. Like they have like the thing about a lot of cryptids, especially in places like the United States for some reason, is that they become like an economic boon for wherever they're from. In a lot of these places, not all of them for by any means, but in a lot of these places they become a source of like income, capitalism. But yeah, so that's another thing. But the 3 that I have listed are the Jersey Devil for New Jersey, Bigfoot for the Pacific Northwest, Citizens for Florida. Like everywhere has their cryptid that they love.
That's funny. Residents.
And then the third is that there's something. There is something. Like that's the third. The third reason is that there is something. Now I'm going to talk about here some of the explanations of
Sure.
Bigfoot. Now the first is that it is some kind of a primate that was native to the North America that is still just kind of living in the wilderness. I don't really believe that one, but that's an explanation that
Yeah.
people get, like they put out there. Like Gigantopithecus is an example that some people like to throw. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of that as a theory. One theory, and this is very believable, is that it's just people misidentifying bears.
Yeah.
Like that's
Or big old
so
dogs.
possible. Or raccoon bears. Throwback, back when we were audio only, DJ and I did an episode where I spent an entire episode trying to essentially convince him of a fake cryptid, and DJ's whole take on it was, so you faked a fake creature.
It's as real as the rest of them.
It was still a fun episode. It was
Yes,
still a
I
fun
agree.
time. Go check it out if you haven't. By the way, if you're someone who's here on YouTube only so far, we have probably like what 30 no, maybe 20 to 30 episodes that are audio only, and you're missing
Yeah.
out on a lot of fun stuff. It might not even be close to that much, but we've got quite a few episodes that are audio only, so you're missing out on a lot of what I would say are some really fun episodes. I think we've gotten better as time has gone on, but we definitely still had a lot of fun early on. So
We were
go
still
check those
funny.
out. Yeah, we were still funny. We were still us. And if you like
Yes.
us, you'll appreciate how far we've come when you listen to some of those old.
I did used to not be a father, which in some ways, like, there was probably less joy in me, but like way more energy. So like, yeah, kind of different. Who knows?
I think, and I'm going to stop talking about this here in just a second. I do think both of us have gotten better at talking and being in front of a camera and microphone.
Yeah.
Like, I think we've both improved in that as we've gone. It just took listening to ourselves a few times.
Yeah. Yeah. The very first time Gage sent me like, yeah, here's the episode. I was like, oh, frick. Pardon my
Yeah.
French.
But we're having a fun time. So
Yeah.
other theories though, misidentification of a bear, just Bigfoot. Whatever Bigfoot is, just Sasquatch. The
Have
hairy wild man that is in all of all of the people's history. That's what it is. It's that. The
have there
guardian of the
been any
forests.
sightings since December 23rd, 2017?
I know the joke you're making.
What happened on December 23rd, 2017, Gage?
That's when your dad died.
I can't believe you'd bring it up.
On Reddit, I did see recent ones that were posted, and some of them were like videos and stuff earlier when I was writing this, but I didn't feel the need to bring them up. According to the Bigfoot Field Research Organization, oh gosh, my internet's going so slow right now. In May, in Sumter County, there was a Class A sighting, which is multiple sightings and related incidents near Rembrandt, South Carolina. In
That was this year?
Yeah,
Sorry.
July of 2025 in Levy County, Florida. Class A sighting. Couple has daylight sighting of two Bigfoots crossing road in
Wow.
Goth State Forest, 25 miles west of Ocala. August of 2025. Wow, we've got two in August.
Wow.
Both Class A.
Let me just tell you, if you happen to see Bigfoot, tell him I miss him. Tell him he can come home. He doesn't have to pretend anymore.
Yeah, another theory
Good segue, Gage.
is that it's just some dude in a hoodie or a large raccoon. And then my favorite theory is that it's Cain. DJ, do you know this theory?
No, but like Cain from the Bible.
Cain from the Bible.
Wild.
So there are some members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints who believe that Cain never died and was cursed to walk the earth covered in hair for the rest of his life, which is eternity, essentially. And so there are some who believe that Bigfoot sightings are the biblical Cain.
I would buy Esau.
I would too, but it's definitely in the story Cain. Now, when I Googled that earlier, because here's the thing. Are you in this document? Someone else is in this document.
It's probably two of you, Gage.
Oh, it definitely is two of me. Oh, that scared me for a second. It's like, who the heck is in here?
That's really funny.
But yeah, no, like I looked it up. There are definitely some Mormon teachers who have at different times claimed this, though not all Mormons agree with it. But still, there are enough out there who have said it publicly that I can say it.
Love it. I'm pulling it up. Let's see. This is Gemini, by the way.
Gemini.
The claim that Cain is Bigfoot is a piece of Latter-day Saint folklore, not a recognized doctrine, stemming from an account of Apostle David W. Patton's 1835 encounter with a large, sorry, I didn't mean to breathe in, that it's kind of awkward that I breathe in, dark, hairy man. Like it feels almost a little more like sensual, but that's not the intention. David W. Patton's 1835 encounter with a large, dark, hairy man who identified himself as Cain. The secondhand story, later included in Spencer W. Kimball's book The Miracle of Forgiveness, became a popular tongue-in-cheek urban legend, especially after Bigfoot sightings in Utah in the 1980s. While some members may see it as an interesting anecdote, the church does not officially endorse the idea that Bigfoot is the biblical Cain.
There we go. You got away with it this time, Mormons.
Big, hairy man named Cain.
On a real note, if there are any Mormons out there who feel confident describing, just explaining Mormonism, we don't want to debate. We would love to have you on to talk about it.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
You said we don't want to debate?
I mean, we might, but I would be content to just hang out and listen and ask questions.
I agree. I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page because I was ready to bring the hammer.
Yeah.
Just kidding. We would love to have you on, and we would not debate.
Yeah.
We're not going to cover it.
So those are some of the possible explanations. One of them, I can't believe I skipped this one. An interdimensional spiritual being.
Of course. Because there are all those portals out in the woods.
Yeah. So apparently there are some who believe that Bigfoot is an interdimensional spiritual being or an interdimensional time being. or a demon even. Like there are some funky beliefs out there about what Bigfoot is, and I love it. It's
Yeah.
just so fun to read that kind of stuff. And you know what? Keep throwing the theories out. It's so much fun. But then let's talk just briefly about Bigfoot and
Yeah.
pop culture, and then I have just like a couple words to conclude us on it. Pop culture, we've seen movies like Harry and the Hendersons. When I looked up Bigfoot War earlier, apparently in 2014 there was a movie called The Bigfoot Wars, which here's the plot. After the mayor of Boggy Creek is murdered by an unknown assailant, local news reporter Kendall Sharp for KRKR8 News delivers a special report on a series of disappearances and unsolved murders. After first suggesting that Sasquatch may be responsible for the murders, Sharp suggests that local criminal Eddie Justerton, a member of a self-styled Dixieland mafioso family, may be the one to blame. I mean, that sounds a little more intense, but the cover of it has a big, huge Bigfoot claw on it. Oh, the following day, six young adults. Oh gosh, that's a very long plot. It's apparently based on a book series by the same name by Eric Brown,
Okay.
and it stars C. Thomas Howell. Christopher Thomas Howell. He was in E.T., The Outsiders, Red Dawn, The Hitcher, The Return of the Musketeers, a movie just called Kid, Gettysburg. He was in a 1994 movie called Jailbait. That sounds
Never good.
nope. Fatal Affair. He was in The Prince and the Surfer, Hot Boys. He was in Hidalgo, which I've heard of.
It's familiar.
Hoboken Hollow, The Da Vinci Treasure. That's not what I thought it was going to say. The Day the Earth Stopped.
Cool.
Why do I know this guy's name? Why do I know C. Thomas Howell? Why do I know that?
Yeah, let me look this guy up too. Sorry, I was really focused on my own side quest. We cannot leave this until I talk about the movie that I am thinking about.
He was in The Amazing Spider-Man, but that's not why I know him.
He was in E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Did you say that already?
Yeah.
What about Ponyboy Curtis in the coming of age film The Outsiders?
I did say The Outsiders earlier.
Yeah, I believe you.
Confessions of a Womanizer. He's apparently been in a handful of Justice League movies. Okay.
Okay.
He was in Woodlawn. I have watched Woodlawn. He was one of the coaches in it. Man, he was in Attack of the Killer Donuts. That sounds like a fun movie.
There was an ornithologist named Thomas Howell.
He was in the 2024 American biographical drama Reagan. Okay, he's also been on TV a lot. Holy cow. He was in The Walking Dead. He was in The Terror. That might be what I know him from, is The Terror.
Suicide Squad, Hell to Pay? No, there's no way that's it.
He was in The Blacklist, The Punishers,
Attack of the
TV
Killer
show.
Donuts.
I really want to watch that now. He was in the show Ties That Bind. He was in the show Grimm, Blue Blood, Sons of Anarchy, Hawaii Five-O. Okay, he's been in a lot of shows. Castle. Okay. He was in Psych.
He was in 3 seasons of The Walking Dead, or 6 episodes of The Walking Dead, apparently. Never mind.
He was in 6 episodes of Criminal Minds, and he was in 1 episode of Psych. And he was specifically in an episode that I have seen like 6 times.
That'll do it.
That'll do it. That's why I know who C. Thomas Howell is.
Kind of related. In 2012, a movie came out called Bigfoot County.
Oh boy.
You remember hearing about this?
Didn't a group of you guys watch it?
No, that would have been better. It was just me and Marcus.
Oh, no.
So I'll read the plot to Bigfoot County real quick, and then I will tell you what's notable about it, and then Gage can figure out how to censor what I'm going to say, because I'm not going to speak in censored words for the algorithm. Gage can fix it. I've got 2 plot summaries. Summary number 1. A trio of hikers are hunted by mountain men who keep the urban legend alive. That's number 1. Number 2, this comes from Lionsgate, the Lion's Mouth itself. Based on found footage, a documentary filmmaker and his crew venture up to Siskiyou County, known for their Bigfoot sightings. While there to investigate, they meet a local who leads them into the woods, showing them evidence to these sightings. As they document everything on tape, a series of unfortunate events occurs, leaving many unanswered questions, and only this footage to draw conclusions. The end of this footage is a man I'll kind of censor myself a little bit. Being violated by a mountain man, one of this trio of hikers getting straight violated. And so I'm 16, watching it with my buddy who is 1 day older than me, so also 16. And like we've heard, like there have been commercials for this movie. And so we're like, this is going to be fun, like this fun Bigfoot movie. And there is zero Bigfoot whatsoever. And what there is instead is a graphic rape scene, not graphic, but a rape scene at the end of the movie. And then we finish the movie and we're like, okay, guess we're just going to go on as if nothing happened.
I mean, it was put out by Lionsgate, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's not a small deal.
No, it's like Kangaroo Jack, right? Where the commercials promised a talking kangaroo, and like it'd be this zany cast of characters, and one of the cast is the kangaroo, and instead you got a talking kangaroo that was like in a dream sequence for like a minute, but instead it was Bigfoot. Like we were promised Bigfoot, and what we got was something like Special Victims Unit for sure.
That's
Heinous
so
crimes.
weird. Okay. Okay.
So
Let's conclude.
why would we want to segue out of this, Gage?
There have been a lot of movies, including Bigfoot County.
Can I read some of the reviews for it?
Sure.
Gage is trying to save this podcast. David Hunter CCIE says, extremely stupid movie. That's the title of his review. You can guess what his stance is. Even for a Bigfoot movie, this is an extremely stupid movie. And then in parentheses, normally most Bigfoot movies suck. What a complete waste of time. Acting, plot, characters are all ridiculous. Rainy113 says, oh, where is Bigfoot when you need him? I really, really wanted Bigfoot to come crashing out of the woods and gobble up these useless idiots. But alas, I made it to the bitter end, and I guess there was a little payoff. I know what the end of the movie is, and that's not payoff, but not enough for what I went through to get there. Be warned, not for the sensitive viewer, even if all the gratuitous language, was that really necessary, doesn't bother you. There is worse than language. So, anyways, very poorly reviewed. This is hands down the most unsatisfying cinematic piece of work I have viewed in my lifetime. I can tell. Oh, yikes. Anyways, don't watch Bigfoot County. Gage probably isn't even including anything about it. You've got my permission to.
There's also the famous Jack Link's beef jerky commercials, Messin' with Sasquatch.
Oh, yeah.
Those were some great commercials. And
Yeah.
then there have been numerous conventions and Bigfoot hunting shows that have happened. So Bigfoot, big part of pop culture. We all know who Bigfoot is.
There's Sydney Sweeney bathwater soap.
Yep, that's a Bigfoot brand of soap. Yep.
Dr. Squatch.
What a time. In conclusion, is Bigfoot real or just your aunt's third ex-husband Terry having a bad day?
Or is it my dad?
That's
Come
also
home.
a reference to our first Christmas gift guide episode.
It is.
That's all I have on Bigfoot for today.
Yeah, I feel like the mood has changed here for some reason. I can't tell why. You want to thank people or you want me to thank people?
I'll thank people. Thank you, Jacob Casey, Jared Scrother, Adam Ward. Thank you guys for making music for us. You're all great. Go check out Ancona. Go check out Adam Ward. Go check out Jared Scrother. They've all got cool stuff they're doing. Ancona is Jacob Casey on Spotify. Adam Ward is Adam Ward. And he's also got a side project called Snail Farm. I don't think they've put anything new out, but they're really, really fun. Jared Scrother, I don't, like I said, I don't think he has any music out, but he does have some like videos, and not like videos like this, like actual good production, like short film type things that he's made. And I think they're really nifty. So go check him out. Check out the stuff he's doing. He's got a book. He does music. He does photography. Like really, kind of does it all. So go check him out. Thank you guys for being involved with us. We've been able to have Jacob and Adam both on. I still need to make time.
Yeah.
We need to get Jared on one of these days. He said he
We'll
would.
get you.
We'll get you. You're not listening. Thank you, listener, for hanging out with us. If you're still here, that means you either fell asleep or you just really love hanging out with us and hearing about how we're going to end. Ooh, I forgot. What are we into? DJ. If you say Bigfoot County,
Currently, I'm into reading these reviews that are like I've repressed this movie for a good
apparently
long
there
time.
is a scene at the end where Bigfoot shows up briefly.
Apparently,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, I am into. So I said The God of the Woods the last time. Great book. Still enjoy it because it's been about an hour since we recorded that. No, what am I into right now? I had something that I was going to say. Okay, so I lost my wedding ring on my last rafting trip. There's a point where we were kind of trying to catch minnows in the water. And so I was like, move my hand back and forth in the water pretty quick. And the ring was already loose. So my assumption is that it was in the water. I lost my ring. And I've just today finally gotten a replacement that fits. So I am married again. So that's good. Just kidding. I was never not married. That's how it works. But I have a ring so people can know that I'm married. I got it from Alpine Rings. Not a sponsor yet. Probably ever. You know what? I'm going to look and see right now if they have an affiliate program. And then that will guide the rest of the words that I say. A huge shout out to our sponsor, Alpine Rings. We're pleased to do business with them. When I lost my ring, I got a new one with Alpine Rings. Go ahead and use the link in the description, and you'll get a great ring. We'll get some money. It's symbiotic.
Yeah, that's how that works.
It's
Yeah, anyways, what I'm into, there is a Netflix show. It's not really new anymore. Also, our Orange Cat Always collaboration says it's still active.
great.
So I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. Anywho, there's this Netflix show that came out about a month ago called Untamed. And have I talked about it on here before?
I don't think so. It doesn't sound familiar.
Okay, so there's this Netflix show called Untamed. Essentially, there's this guy, he's a park ranger, but he's like, he works for the FBI, kind of. He's a specific type of ranger at this park, or like federal agent. And he's supposed to investigate whenever there's a murder or anything that happens on the national park, and it's Yellowstone. And essentially, what happens is at the beginning of episode 1, there's these two guys rock climbing, and a girl like falls over the edge of the rock face and gets tangled up in their rope, and it like kills her. And so they're trying to look into, it's trying to like solve whether or not this was a murder or whether or not this was something else, you know. And it's just got a lot of intrigue, it's got a lot of mystery. I was able to call a lot of the twists that happened before they did happen, but it was so much fun. Even when I did, like, they were bigger than I expected at times. So
Nice.
it was overall just a really good show. It's only like 6 episodes long. Each episode's about 45 minutes to an hour. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. Netflix, not a sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if we can get an affiliate link going. Thanks again, everybody. Especially you, Garrett. Especially you, Dad. If you're out there listening, Bigfoot, you know I miss you. I wish you'd just come home. But sorry, I just need a moment. Just kidding. Go thank yourselves. See you guys.